and the meat was coming out in the skin, hence the psoriasis. So the first thing we did, we got it to stop all meat, right? All meat. And I asked her, I said, "What did any of these doctors or the stop specialists on Harley Street recommend what to do?" She said they just recommend drugs or ointments. So I said, well, look, stop all that. This is what you do. You get off all red meat, you got off anything meat, right? And you go more fish. Today, if you're suffering from psoriasis, spelled Psoriasis, psoriasis. If you suffer from psoriasis, you are very, very blessed today, because I'm going to explain to you, if you're suffering from psoriasis, on how you treat it. I must tell you about a spectacular case we did at our clinic about 10 years ago, where this Irish woman, about in her late 40s, had been suffering from psoriasis for the best part of 30 years. For 30 years, she went to about 50 odd doctors, including skin specialists from Harley Street, and none of them could help her. She just got worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, there's a reason why she was sick. She was, like I said, she was from Irish extraction, and Irish people love eating Irish stew with beef. But in her case, she was quite young. She was 18 or 19 when she started eating meat in the form of stew, Irish stew. Right? She ate. The problem is, she wasn't a person that did a lot of hard work. She was more of an intellectual type of person. So she was very, very switched on to eating Irish stew on a daily basis, made with fish, with meat. Now, the problem with that is that the more she ate it, after about a few years, the skin started to break out in psoriasis, and eventually the whole body, from the top of her head right to her feet, were covered in psoriasis. She went to over in excess of 48 doctors and several skin specialists from Harley Street, spent about close to 55,000, 60,000 pounds, and all the treatment they gave her was drugs and more drugs, and it just got worse and worse and worse. Luckily for her, I happened to be on TV one particular afternoon, and she saw me speak on psoriasis and foods generally. She said to herself, God, this man knows what he's doing. So she rang the studio, the TV studio. The TV studio gave her Patrina's name and phone number. So she rang up, made the appointment, and she finally came. And we looked at her, we photographed her eyes, and we realised that she was riddled with meat. She must have carried about probably 15 to 20 kilos of meat that was rotten inside the bowel here. And the meat was coming out in the skin, hence the psoriasis. So the first thing we did, we got it to stop all meat, right? All meat. And I asked her, I said, what did any of these doctors or the stop specialists on Harley Street recommend what to do? She said they just recommend drugs or ointments. So I said, well, look, stop all that. This is what you do. You get off all red meat, you got off anything meat, right? And you go more fish and a bit of chicken, but mostly vegetables and mostly fruit. And also we give her a series of treatments to do with clear cut and powerful nutrition. Now, so we give her a product called Fibergy, which removed waste, which had been in a bowel for the best part of 40 years. It removed the waste. It took about 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks, the psoriasis started to improve markedly. She still wasn't cured, but it took about 3 or 4 weeks to improve. You could see the difference, and bit by bit, over the course of 4 months, the psoriasis cured completely. It had cost her in excess of 55,000 pounds to 60,000 pounds, and it did nothing. For less than 2,000 pounds of nutrition and knowledge, she was able to cure the psoriasis completely. And if you go to our website, Planet Wellness, you'll see a picture of her before psoriasis and after psoriasis. So we look forward to hearing from you if you suffer from psoriasis, and we look forward to helping you clear it within 3 weeks to 3 months. Thank you for listening.